All right, everybody, this is a special edition of Search for Huru. I have my neighbor with me, Mike, who lives across the street from me. And we're going to be building on and speaking on the Ralo situation. And first of all, let me start off with this. I want to apologize because in my previous video, I made some statements that weren't true. And I want to go ahead and put that on record and apologize. And I just think, dealing with black men, us being black men, we need to have all the facts. So I just want to put that on record. I apologize in regards to some of the information I said in regards to Ralo and not doing my proper my due diligence before I did the video in regards to him touring and all that. So me and Mike live not too far from Ralo, down the street. Actually, we live in the West End. So we were just going to discuss what can black men learn from Ralo. Me and Mike were discussing, and Mike, jump in at any time.
Well, let me jump in.
Go ahead.
I found his video and I called him up and said, "Hey, I think you're being a little opinionated." He said, "Oh, these people are really coming hard," and I felt that Dynas didn't understand the love for Ralo in the community. And so I said, I'm watching to see what's going on because I want to know what's going on. And people are watching. So I said, all the other videos, 1,000 views, but this Ralo video is blowing up. So everybody's looking to see what's happening. And we're curious because of Ralo's social media. Now, before his social media, he was standing out like a sore thumb to me. I'm going to purposely in this video not say anything that can be used incriminating because he has a criminal case going on. And that's another thing. People need to be concerned that anything you say can and will be used against you. So, now the title of this video is What Can We Learn from Ralo? And here's what I'm concerned about is I was watching Ralo. It seemed like a lot of people was watching him way before this. And what I was concerned about was I would see the good stuff and the stuff that had me cautious. Like I would watch the videos about Pakistan and how everybody would ride up and say, oh, Ralo's in the hood. But then my neighbor here is in a $400,000 house. I'm in a $350,000 house. Ralo's Pakistan is next to a $350,000 house, and it's worth $2 million. $2 million for an apartment complex. He bought it for $1 million. It's worth $2 million now. That means it went up $1 million in a couple of years. That's not the hood. So everybody in the neighborhood is watching you. If you live next to a $350,000 house, people watching you. So that's not incriminating. That's just called being conscious and aware of your surroundings. So I'm gonna give it back to him. So basically, what I'm saying is that before this happened, the whole neighborhood is watching everybody. I'm watching him. That's how neighbors are. When he goes out of town or something, we watch each other. So Ralo to me was just a neighbor. He's a part of the neighborhood. I said, wow, nice Lamborghini. And then I asked myself, how'd you buy it? How'd you afford it? Nice this and that. But I saw the tour buses. I listened to his music because I want to like him. The one thing I didn't like is the references to dog food. And that kind of blew him up, that whole dog food thing. And I had to ask somebody, what's dog food? I really didn't know. You know what dog food is?
No, I didn't know. No.
Do you know what it is now?
Yeah.
A reference to heroin. So when I watched his videos and I saw the references to heroin, I said, wow, that's pretty stupid. Again, I'm not going to say anything incriminating. These are things that he said. See what I'm saying? Because one thing people got to realize when somebody's in a criminal investigation, it's ongoing. The stuff we put on YouTube like this can be used and subpoenaed. So let's say I can say, oh, I saw him do it. I'm not going to say anything like that. So the only thing I'm going to make reference to is what I saw, how it made me feel, but as long as it's not incriminating. Because you got to remember, I do believe that some of the things that, I'm not going to say Ralo, but everybody's doing is incriminating themselves, and it's for self-glory. So I don't necessarily like getting on TV or video and making this, but I'm hoping somebody listening to this saying, you know what? The question is, what can we learn from Ralo? I'll give you an example. Let's say hypothetically you had $1 million and you want to invest it. Do you do something illegal, or do you say, I want to do something not illegal? I would say do something not illegal. For example, if someone did want to fly with drugs on a plane, not a good idea. Not a good idea. To even show anybody with mass amounts of money, not a good idea, because you can't explain where that money came from. So the question is, how did you get all these things? I'm not saying Ralo, but yourself. You have a job, right?
Right.
I have investments. If you can't justify where your stuff came from,
if you can't articulate where it comes
don't
from,
brag about it.
Don't brag about it.
Because you never heard him say where it came from, or I don't think, or a lot of people. Because like I said, we're going to be careful to not incriminate somebody or dig deep. But trust me, by the time the stuff is on the news, did you incriminate yourself? So I think I'm going to give it back to him. But what I'm saying is this, you know, now we just looked at the video. We think it was a music video, something of Ralo in jail. My whole point is this, and I made it to my family, is stay off of social media. If you have something informative like this brother's doing, even still, you still kind of want to use social media like somebody who you don't like is listening to it. Don't make it like, yo, you're going out to all your friends. In the indictment, it said that
Vlad TV.
Well, it says that
and Instagram. Somebody
made a post after this. People know exactly what you're talking about. They know exactly what you're doing. Your neighbors know what's going on. They know what you're doing. Your family and your friends do. So at the end of the day, you know, I say do the right thing. I say, you know, try to, you know, do whatever makes you happy, but do the right thing. But if you're doing the wrong thing, you better keep that shit to yourself. You know what I'm saying? And if you got to tell somebody, you're most likely going to get caught. You know, so if you're involved in pilots, friends, whatever, you know, good luck. Good luck. And you know, I think a lot of this has to do with being young, you know, because you take a 23-year-old.
And plus a 23-year-old who's pretty much is responsible. I mean, how many people did Ralo have on payroll?
He said, see, I can go by what he said because now I watched a lot of the videos because I was fascinated by what was going on because I kept asking myself, how long is this going to last? Because the impression that they're giving is a false impression that Ralo has projects in the hood. He has a project. The West End is a white neighborhood that
not yet. I mean, it's
the West End. Okay, no, I just came from Brooklyn, right?
All right.
Brooklyn is all white. I was on the same street as Biggie Smalls. Oh, this is a good example I thought about when I was in Brooklyn. If Biggie Smalls tried to do what Ralo did, the same situation Ralo's in, Biggie Smalls would be in. Because he said, I used to sell dope to feed my daughter in front of his house. Okay, now where Biggie used to live is a $2 million brownstone. So imagine Biggie going back to Brooklyn now and saying, you know, I'm in the hood, I'm in Brooklyn. Brooklyn was all white when I was there. Brooklyn is you know, white people with strollers and $2 million brownstones. So could Biggie go back there and say, I got all my niggas over here, we back in Brooklyn? No, because they're gonna you're stupid because it's not Brooklyn anymore.
Right.
No inner cities were made for black people. There used to be projects in Atlanta all around the West End. When they tore the projects down, those were gave Atlanta black. Georgia's a white state.
Right.
So basically, white people are not taking over, they're coming back. There's a difference. You can't re-gentrify. You just say, hey, this was mine, I'm taking it back. The house we're sitting in was built by a white woman.
Right.
This whole area was white people. When you put a project, if they put the projects there back again, I would leave.
Right.
Okay, so the white people left, the projects was tore down. They're not coming back. So the concept of Pakistan was a hell of a real estate investment.
It was hell of a real estate investment.
You didn't have to bring no weed in. You could have kept buying real estate.
Allegedly.
No, I'm just saying. They're saying it's an indictment now. The indictment says weed was brought in. So I'm going with the indictment.
Okay.
There's an indictment, so that doesn't incriminate them. Going with the indictment, if those allegations are true, the real estate was so significant. That's why. What are they going for? They're not saying we want to find this weed.
Right.
If there was weed, they want the property.
Let me ask you this: what about the people that are saying it was just weed?
I don't care what it was. At the end of the day, when you have an airplane with I was questioning the airplane with $500,000 on Instagram because I don't believe in posting on Instagram. I don't believe in posting your baby pictures. When you girls have babies out there, don't put your baby pictures up there. If you wouldn't put your checkbook and post your checkbook, don't post your family members. You love your people more than you love your money, right? I've seen pictures of people's kids on the internet. Gangsters move in silence, right? If you're a gangster, you move in silence. So if you're going to love somebody, what do we learn from Ralo? Okay, well, we learned he's not a gangster. He's a very sociable person.
Right.
Because gangsters move in silence. He's not a gangster. People that want to stay out of jail don't put that much on in it. And then the pressure you put on a guy like Gucci Mane, because now at a certain point, if I was his criminal defense attorney or Gucci Mane, I would say, I'd get an attorney because I would say, don't try to tell him you made all this money doing rap. Where'd the money come from? You got to answer those questions. If it was a little bit of money, you might be like, all right. If it was, where'd you get that?
Let me ask you this: what about the people? Because, and I gotta put this on record, and just cut me off if I'm just saying too much. A lot of people, in regards to my previous video I did, a lot of the comments are worse than comments I get from white supremacists, and I was disappointed in that. I mean, we got a situation right now where Daz, you know, and I don't agree with Kanye West, All right, I think he's involved in some buffoonery with his comments, but Daz, pretty much greenlighted him with the Crips. But Daz didn't greenlight George Zimmerman. Daz didn't greenlight the. There was a situation where Hispanic gangs were, I guess, intimidating black residents.
It's because we're not having self-satisfaction. It's like,
but I just don't understand why. I don't understand why I get all the threats.
I want to watch.
Well, I get worse threats from
because people get
the Ralo people than from the white supremacists.
It's over the board that people are not being satisfied by what they're doing. They're getting hungry by watching you eat. It's a voyeur society. It's a porno type society.
And I'm sorry, not Ralo's people, but I guess
matter. What you're saying is one person talks about a person online
that commented on my.
What I'm saying is because the Ralo has many beefs. I followed him. Why do I follow him? Because I see the guy in the neighborhood. It was interesting to me. I like to be. We getting older. You see the gray beard. I like being in the know. So I would hear about I'm beefing with Yo Gotti or whatever. Who's this guy. So one person will make a comment, and I'll be waiting for the response because it's coming. This person make a response. So the question is, why are people going back and forth on the internet? Because people are watching.
All right.
And the fact of the matter is, you're looking for a winner or a loser. You're looking for entertainment. But there's no inner entertainment. People are not feeling satisfied by themselves. Like, for example, if you said to a girl, hey, let's go on a date. I got an idea. You leave your cell phone at the house. I'll leave my cell phone at the house. Mm-hmm. You'll say, fuck you. We can curse. Yeah,
go ahead.
Oh, I'm not leaving my fucking cell phone because I might miss something, right?
Right.
Or just, I don't want to detach. Okay, have you ever went for a walk without your phone?
Rarely.
Yeah. So have you ever went to work and left your phone on the counter?
If I have, I'll leave work.
What happened is we're having a generation that can't detach. So that's why Ralo will probably go to jail and be shooting videos in jail. Yo, this Ralo.
Well, I don't think that was authentic.
But it's the concept, and other people are doing it.
Okay.
And that's why he wanted a Lamborghini Gallardo or whatever, Aventador, because I would have got the regular Lamborghini. I wouldn't have bought a Lamborghini. Too much attention. But my whole point is, or you know what? Hypothetically, if somebody was going to charter flights, why not say you want to help the brothers in the hood sit on the flight school? Mm-hmm. Buy an airplane. You know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking out the box here. How about have a rule where we don't tell anybody anything? How about all your brothers and stuff in there, no cell phones, no pictures? If you're not there to experience it, you don't get it. But here's my whole point is everybody wants to experience it vicariously through somebody else.
Do you think that was part of it?
I'm watching you eat a steak and my mouth is watering. And my thing is, so he's friends with all these other rappers that have legitimately made this money. But they say those rappers sell their soul out. And did they really do it? Yes, because anybody, okay.
I agree.
People don't need Lamborghinis. If you, like, for example, was he helping people out at the park? Sure, he's helping people out. But there's a balance to things. So was the balance off? Was it 90% myself, 10%? Yes. Because if you say, I got a video, I'm throwing 30,000 at homeless people, but then the car costs 300,000, there's a balance. You say, this is my crumbs. So my whole point is, I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I like Ralo,
I like Ralo too.
Now, here's what I want to do is I want to go around and talk to him, but I was afraid because at the end of the day, it didn't seem approachable.
Well, that's another thing. Now, people were commenting on my previous video and say, "Okay, if you lived up the street from him, why didn't you go and talk to him?"
If you know,
I'm a square. I'm a square.
Like this. I read.
I'm corporate American square. I like travel to Africa.
Time out. I read. The sign on the gate says, "You come in here, you get shot." Okay, there is the gate. You hear gunfire all the time. My friends live directly behind the complex. I was like, who's that? That's the first time I learned. It was like, it's a famous rapper over there. I was like, Ralo. I was like, how famous is he? I never heard of him. And then I saw the cars and I saw the stuff he was doing at the park. And I said, well, this guy is really interesting. And I said, I like to teach at the park and coach I mentor at the park. And I said, damn, this would be great if I could affiliate with this guy. But then when I found out dog food and you're rapping about it, I fucking hate heroin. With passion. So my whole point is if your repertoire,
just rapping about it, just rapping about it.
You telling people this, they didn't put it on black, so I wouldn't know about it. I would never tell people whatever. But if your repertoire is selling dope, my brother died of a drug overdose, heroin. So I know this guy is talking about heroin. I'm like, at first I hated him, and I said to myself, you know what? I can't hate this guy because I see the Muslim stuff going on. He's leading. He looked like he was had control. And I was like, you know what? They ain't bothering me. They're not. That's one thing I said. They ain't bothering nobody.
Right.
So, but did it look approachable? Nah. You know, so I know how to mind my business. Now, I'm making this now because my whole point is I've seen enough to where I'm assessing it. And I've had this conversation with my family. So the same thing I'm telling y'all, I've told my family. My sister's having a baby. I said, look, don't put them baby pictures online. She said, oh, we're going to put them on. Don't do it. You know, and I won't be making much more videos. I used to be on YouTube 10 years ago, had videos with millions and millions of followers. I don't do it anymore. This is a courtesy to my neighbor. He loves this. It's his passion. And I saw all the videos he was creating. And Ralo is such a topic. I said, you know what? I want to teach somebody something, hopefully. And so like going on with the lessons is how can we learn from this? Let's be a lot smarter than this. First of all, you know, don't call a hood a hood when it's really a neighborhood.
Yeah, because I mean, people got to understand the West End isn't really I mean, it has its elements, but the West End isn't.
Put really like this: nobody's out here selling drugs in the corner.
Yeah,
he called the police to hit a minute, and they were sitting out there in front of his complex half the time and watching him like a hawk. I mean, I'm just saying this was not the spot. Pakistan, they should have called it
Little Africa.
No, you should have called
Little Africa.
You should have called it Soho. I mean, I'm telling you, there's white people that live all on the block.
Yeah, I mean, white people live all throughout the West End.
And they're just like, oh, cool car. You know, they don't know what's going on. And he's not bothering anybody. But it was not, you know, they didn't have to have a gate. Nobody was going to walk up there. You didn't have to have no guns.
Right.
None of that stuff. So at the end of the day, those days for this neighborhood are over. And like I said, the main thing they're going to hurt this guy with if he does get is those repossessions because, you know, that apartment complex is really expensive.
It is.
All them houses, really expensive. Now, you know, when a white person wants to get rich, you know, they're going to go get a Ford F-150. Now, let's say Ralo is innocent and we don't know where his money came from.
I hope.
Let's say we don't know where his money came from. But let's say he never bought the Lamborghini. He never bought. Oh, if he bought the apartment complex, how about we teach these guys how to work on apartments, fix them up, and actually rent them out? How about we get airplane? Here's another thing. How about instead of buying the Lamborghinis, if we want to buy them, we start a company, right? I'm about to drop some jewels now. We start a company, lease the Lamborghinis to the celebrities in Atlanta. We lease all these sport cars. We got 9 sport cars. Here's the jewel. We never put this on any of our name because there's no benefit in having shit in your name anyway. You start a corporation, you start a trust. It's in your baby mama name. That's the old school way. But you start a company, you start a trust. All this shit's not in your name anyway. Okay, you start your legitimate businesses. There's no need, theoretically, even your boy Akon is not doing the Lamborghinis and stuff no more. You know, because he was like, I got this diamond watch. I'm walking through a village, you know, where people don't have 10 cents.
Right.
He was like, I just feel like an asshole. So, you know, at a certain point, all the chains and the yelling and stuff, that's great. But, you know, I got to love this boy because it's young boy stuff.
But he's 23.
Yeah, it's young boy stuff. You bought it at 43. He's going to change. And he's going to change now. And I think, honestly, he'll come out of this and he'll be winning. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this, Mike. I'm trying to figure out the proper way to word this so I won't offend anybody. The older men who are around, I've noticed a lot of older men, older Muslim men that were around him. What could they have done maybe differently?
You can't stop these young people from getting online because they're not getting the message. That's why I thought it was important to expose myself and put this video out there is to say, look, if you want to be online, I'll tell you how to do it. Like if you got a girlfriend and she put pictures online of herself, naked clothes, bathing suit, tell her stop. Show me that. Stop getting your joy from showing your followers that. Ralo is getting enjoyment, and a lot of celebrities. Just because you're a celebrity doesn't mean nothing. You could be a celebrity that have a message or a point. Like his boy John Doe just put out a video. Great video. You didn't see it. They just shot it in the West End. Great video. Great song. It's cultural. Also the lyrics. Ox shit, pop shit, 12 can't stop shit. 12 has stopped a lot of shit. If you're gonna say 12 can't stop shit, meet me at the corner store. Nigga, you locked up. 12 stops everything. You have to respect the authorities. That's the next thing. You don't taunt people. So you're taunting people on social media. This guy got beef with this guy. The police don't like the beef. They're gonna win. I tell brothers, man, you know, you don't fight in the streets. You don't fight cops. This is where you fight them. You fight them in the courtroom. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you, you're from that judge, that federal judge, you won't say ox shit, pop shit, shells can't stop shit. I bet you won't hear no fam good. You're gonna be like, yes, sir, no, sir. So yeah, they stopping shit all day. So let's keep it real. It's just respect. You know what I'm saying? You have to respect authority. And and Islam teaches you that, Christianity teaches you that. So that's why I'm speaking up, because you see my gray hairs. I'm somewhat of an elder. I'm somewhat of a teacher in the community. I bet those brothers see me around. I'm riding around, walking around, motorcycling around, doing whatever. And I have tremendous respect for the people in this neighborhood. I think they have respect for me, because I do associate with the kids and stuff. And like I said, I would have loved to network with Ralo. If he gets out, I would love to network with him.
Me too.
And so, but the thing is, you got to do this thing a better way. So all the people that's watching him, the first thing is, there's a theory out now that 70% of all crimes in America is substantiated by social media. Let's say somebody gets murdered, they know him. They don't just murder them. They would beef on social media if they got murdered. Wow. How many people we see get killed on Facebook Live? Wow. And stalked and all this stuff? Or they do a crime and then they put a picture of it on the internet. The social media is killing these people. It's like if you meet a pretty girl, you can say in your head, damn, she's pretty. But people will have to like put their picture up on internet. Look at this girl that I got. Now it really happened. Learn how to have an intrinsic joy in your life. It happened because you do. They said if a tree falls in the forest and nobody's there, did it make a sound? What's the answer to that question?
Yeah, it made a sound.
It made a sound. You experiencing it didn't have to be there. It made a sound. So that means that if something happened good to you and you felt good about it, you don't have to tell anybody. Nobody has to know about it. Gangsters move in silence. They have a code. And gangster don't mean a drug dealer. Gangster don't mean a bad person. Everybody's somewhat of a gangster. It's like if your mama said, look, I got a gold chest that your grandpa gave to me. Don't tell nobody about it.
All right.
Do you go on Instagram and go, does Yo Gotti have a gold chest like my gold chest my mama gave to me? And put it up to your ear like a phone, gold chest. And then somebody else going to get a gold chest challenge. You're being fooled. You're stupid. You're being stupid. It's intrinsic. You know what I mean? And that's all. That's why I'm making this video. I ain't making a lot more. I used to get ratings. I know how to get ratings on the internet. I fool you. I make the video, Ralo gets dicked in the ass. I'm just saying. But they see that title, and then they go,
Stop the show. Stop the show.
No, what I'm trying to show you is that people are only, but they can't substantiate it. They only go by headline. Boom. Mm-hmm. Like,
no, I'm just saying we just got to be careful, because again, some of the people commenting on my last Ralo video are worse than white supremacists. So I just, I just want to be careful.
Well, to me, comment all you want. At the end of the day, like I said, I handle the internet like in passing. You know what I'm saying? Like something will catch my eye, but you don't give it too much. You don't give it too much. You don't take it for real. I got caught by some videos. They're like real update Ralo, because I've been following. And I click on it, I'm like, damn, they got me. Because they put in fake titles on here, is what I'm saying.
Right.
They want the views. Like you put a real title up there. What we learn from Ralo.
No.
And so my whole point is we have been fooled. This stuff is not being used to help us. People are not enjoying the moments in their life. I could just imagine being 23, riding around West End in a Lamborghini, but only having it for a year or two, and then having somebody take it away and say, we're going to sell it. And now what you riding now? What is the next car going to be? The next car is going to be the real car. What is it? Monte Carlo? Maybe you come back, you get some. What I'm trying to say is you don't have to have a big car, but would you want to put it online? You can't live your life online because the celebrities are doing it. Don't make it right. Like you commenting on Kanye. You don't know if he's pulling your leg, if he's crazy, if he's serious. All you know is that you're intrigued by it and you're following it. Is everybody else following? Yeah. Now you say, well, what do we do if we don't follow them? You follow yourself. First of all, ask yourself, what do you like to do? Who do you like to do it with? Why are you here? And if you just work on those three things, you won't have that much time for social media.
Let me ask you this, Mike. Black men like me and you, because they're saying like in communities like the West End, there's a brain drain. Like black men like me and you don't engage the community. We leave the community. Like how would people like me and you engage, we'll say, the Ralo types of the community? Not the kids, but like the...
Well, you just answered it. The answer is the kids and the old people. Most of my friends are 70 years old and up. I'm glad you asked that. Black men, you need everybody. You need older friends. So most of my friends, he can attest to it. Most of my male friends are 70 years age and up. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3. My closest 3 friends, 70 and up. Next thing is I'm starting I've been mentoring at the park doing activities and stuff, but I'm starting a chess program at the park. I'm gonna buy chess boards, chess sets, and go down there. Am I gonna put it on YouTube? Am I gonna be like, oh, everybody look? I'm doing it now, but just to say what I'm doing. But it doesn't have to be a big deal. It can be quiet, So, but when Ralo did this stuff at the park, it was big. It was huge. Man, you could just take 5 minutes and just talk to somebody.
But he meant well, man.
It's not that he meant well. It's you put everything you did on the internet. You gotta. I said it a million times. This thing. Learn how to be intrinsic. Learn every now and then. Put your phone on the counter. Go take a walk, and just you and your brain. You know what I'm saying? We watch superhero movies. We are superheroes. Well, we watched Panther. They had to eat a fruit, and then they made him a superhero.
Oh, so guys, get the likes up on the video. Or go ahead.
Okay, but at the end of the day, you don't have to eat a fruit. Everybody has superpowers, so you could actually, just talk to people. Like, if you ever date somebody and you call them, damn, you just called me. No. Was it an accident? You don't, because your thought waves go out. So this stuff is blocking your thought waves. So we can do small things. Like my dad, he's dead, but my dad said, you want to do something for me? He said, you go do something for somebody else and don't tell nobody about it. So we're missing that whole, imagine the opposite of social media, unsocial, intrinsic gratification. I did it because it made me feel good and I don't need to tell anybody about it. Try that. Because I'm thinking that he was influenced to buy the Lamborghini. He was influenced to fly the private jet and to take the pictures with the money. Right. Because I thought about how I could do that. And I was like, man, I could go to the bank and get all my money out the bank and put it on my arm. And I want to see what it feels like to put a knot to my foot. I was like, why do I want to do that? Because I saw him do it. He's influencing me.
Right. But it's part of it just to act because he's a rapper and he's an entertainer. Like, do you have to do that?
You just said old people and young people. An old person wouldn't do it, and a young person would. There's this group of people in the middle. It's up to people like me.
Okay, but how do we engage that group in the middle?
You start when they're young, and then you let them mess up in the middle. He has to go through this. This is this rite of passage. If you gave me $1 million when I was 23, I would have bought something stupid. So it's for us to make the video. That's why I'm making the video, because I care about them. I care about the people in my neighborhood. And I'm like, this is not the way I wanted to see it happen. What I wanted to see happen was there would be a think tank, and he gets some really older friends. Like you said, the people he's dealing with, they weren't that old.
He has some older.
They not that smart, because the same thing, like they said in the video with John Doe, Free Alameen. The same stuff happened to Alameen and that whole gun stuff or whatever. You can't be in a neighborhood like this with a lot of assault weapons. It's just not a good match. Maybe a handgun here and there. I'm not trying to tell people what to do, but you've heard the gunfire. Do we have a lot of gunfire in the neighborhood?
I don't know where it's coming from.
You have a good idea.
I don't know where it's coming from though.
Okay, so I'm handgun owner. We both have handguns and permits and all that stuff. But the whole point is we're not just shooting up in the air. If I pull my gun out, you got a problem. So the whole, we're protecting our territory. You don't have to do it so adamantly. You can just do it from the standpoint of don't come in here. But like I said, I wouldn't put a sign on my door like, you come up in here, we're gonna shoot you. That complex was a bit intimidating because you could see the nice cars up in there and you didn't know what those guys were doing. I'm a black man, so I would never say, they do. I never thought anything illegal was going on, me personally. You couldn't see anything illegal. There was no traffic. So on my own thing, yes, I do believe they were set up to a certain extent. However, do I think that I would have looked into them if I was law enforcement? I wouldn't have had a choice, because everybody in the neighborhood, I know for a fact, we're calling. And you're a victim of affluence now, because these are not $20,000 houses, $50,000 houses. See, the house, if he bought 5 or 6 houses, they weren't bought for $300,000-$400,000. So think about this. Let's say he bought 5 houses. He could have bought them for $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. But guess what? Now they're worth
like $400,000,
$200,000-$300,000. So if they're talking about, we're going to take 5 houses from him, you're talking about close to $1 million.
Right.
We're taking an apartment complex he bought for a little bit, and he fixed that thing up because it didn't look that good before. So we're looking at $3 to $4 million in real estate.
All right.
And another $1 million.
Wow.
So you're looking at basically reducing this man's net worth to, you better sell some records. So that's why he's saying, like, I'm gonna sell, my ticket price is gonna be high for the interview when you get out. I hope they are. I'm not coming, because you put everything on the internet for free, really, damn it. But if you want to do some community stuff, I'm gonna support you. I wouldn't come to anybody's concerts. So that's not a diss. I'm not buying anybody's records, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna keep following, supporting, and I want some peace in the neighborhood. And really, what I want to see is to not see you. Drop off the face of the earth. And the only time that we see you is when you're doing something positive. And if you're on an airplane, you teach them brothers, you paying for flight school, you teaching brothers how to fly, you buying airplanes.
Right.
When I saw $40,000 to rent, this is an indictment, $40,000 to fly there and back, brothers, we know how to fly airplanes.
Right.
I don't, if I was hypothetically transporting weed, I would not trust two white guys
flying an airplane. Yeah,
that with a white guy who's like, yeah, we smelt the weed. And my whole point is, not like it's a white-black thing. It's just like I said, gangsters move in silence. You know what I'm saying? All those mafia guys, they never caught them with anything. They got them on taxes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And those guys always had businesses. In the movies, you always see them at the restaurants.
Right.
They own those restaurants.
Right.
And they had the mics, and they trying to catch these guys. There was a code of silence.
Right.
What the fuck happened to that? Imagine
John. I think you need to repeat that again. People need to hear that again.
It's called a code of silence. Gangsters moving silence, code of silence. And that's that they couldn't break the code. They talking about a snitch. They was like, don't say nothing. We'll cut your tongue out. Now, like they say, is snitching on yourself going on? Yes, it's going on. But it's a psychological control where they can't help it. And it's due to your age. And I'm before social media. When I went to college, I didn't have an email. When I went to college, literally, it was like, I'll see you at your mama's house. Right. So I got to see all this stuff happen. And then when I do get on
somebody says you don't understand the system of white supremacy. You want to address that?
I do. I think that I don't want to help the system of white supremacy because my thing is, I'm a person who I disagree with Kanye. I believe slavery is wrong. What I'm trying to say is that you need to communicate with the youth and teach them younger so they know how to appreciate the things in life. So when they do make that money, let's say they did say, oh, I think it'd be a good idea, hypothetically, to rent an airplane from white people, to go to a state that is legal, transport it. My whole thing is I believe in starting legal businesses. I believe in working within the confines now of legality. I believe that your freedom is something that white supremacy is attacking and your ability to enjoy. I'll give you an example. I believe that fun is being at home. Okay, when people say I'm going to homecoming, I say homecoming is every day. People we're going to our school homecoming. Yeah. No, you go to drink, to see, act like you back in college again. True homecoming is when it's over, you get home. Homecoming is being. So my thing is I want black people to enjoy their homes, their houses. That's how we survive. So I feel that people are not knowing what fun is. I'm a very simple person. So do I think a lot about white supremacy? No. I think about peace. I think about educating the youth and learning from the older people. So maybe I just don't deal into white supremacy that much because when I'm at home, I'm at peace. So I'm saying my thing is I try to live a very simple life. If I enjoy something, I can just enjoy it. I don't have to tell anybody. So this conversation is really not about white supremacy. It's about a young guy.
Well, but they're saying that they targeted him because he was a young black man with money and he was Muslim.
Well, I think that I did say I feel like he got targeted, but it's like if something makes noise and you shoot at it because it made a noise, you help yourself get targeted. He helped himself get targeted. He helped incriminate that indictment. He gave them evidence. I think that, to a certain extent, they say John F. Kennedy, when his brother was Attorney General, they targeted the mafia. And I think the fact that the mafia was a real entity, the mafia was doing illegal things, and they try to keep it quiet. If you saw the mafia on Instagram, like, yo, look at this Bentley we got, and then they say, well, why are you messing with us? It is not normal for a 23-year-old man with no job to have a $400,000 car.
He's a rapper. He had a job.
No, he wasn't. That's like me taking a painting, and I could say I'm selling this for $500,000, and all of a sudden I buy $1 million house. I'm an artist. No, there's a difference, and that's why I said earlier, if you were affiliated with him, I would want to get a lawyer because if he uses that defense that he got the money from me, I'm like, no, he didn't, because you can track the money. You can't justify it. So these are unjustifiable expenditures. If this was just your household and you were just dealing with your spouse, let's say y'all have a joint bank account and you come home and you have a diamond watch on and gold rings and stuff, your spouse is going to say, "Where'd this come from?" In a very normal social relationship, everybody says, "Where did it come from? How did you get it?" These are very not white supremacist things. These are just basic things. If your son comes home from school and he's got a brand new iPad, what's the first thing you're going to say?
Where'd you get it from?
Yeah. And if he says, "Well, I got a job," he says, "What job?" You say, "Well, I sell candy. I have a candy store." And you know that he has 2 bags of candy. I mean, it's just, this is not white supremacy. This is called, you didn't have to buy that. That's why I give the example of, you start a company and all the celebrities, you just be like humble. Hey, I just got my cars. I lease cars. I like cars. That's a luxury car business. His license plate said Ralo. He's in the neighborhood. Ralo. You don't want to own the car. White people have been doing it for years. We're talking about white supremacy.
Somebody said we're making it bigger than it is.
Well, because we live here. You don't live here. If this was your neighbor, we care about this kid. We care about him at the end of the day. You care about him?
Of course.
Because I want him to win.
Of course. I want him to win.
I hate the fact that they're going to take his property.
No, we're not going to put that out there. He's going to keep his property. Well, he's going to keep everything.
The media in the indictment is reporting they're seeking this. I hate the fact.
Well, that's why we have a platform, and we need to push that Ralo is the correct word, exonerated and gets let go.
Well, the first thing
we got to push for.
The first thing is bigger than Ralo. Is I want people to stop putting stuff on social media. Stop your accounts that are doing anything besides teaching. If you want to teach somebody, put that on social media. So if you said, "Okay, Ralo, what's your next video? How to make a rap? How do I develop my raps? Informational videos. How do I talk to the brothers? Like, you know what I really want to see?"
Somebody says Big OG's talking too much.
Okay, I'll be quiet. They win. Go ahead.
All right, so you done?
I'm done.
All right, so hopefully, young Black men can learn from this. Hopefully, you guys learn something positive and constructive from it. Thank you for joining us. Search for Huru, Dinah Samir, my neighbor Mike. Make sure you go to searchforhuru.com. Make sure you go to DinahSamir.com. Make sure you go to Amazon.com. Search your name, Dinah Samir. Also go to AfricaPersonified.Africa and go to Search for Huru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook.
Oh, I got something else.
Go ahead.
Got a website coming out and an app called Air Yoda. Okay, Air Yoda. You're gonna be able to go to.
What is it? Type it in. Oh
no. I'm just giving the first thing. So when it blow up, y'all be like, "Damn, I heard about this crazy fat OG, whatever." You'll be able to go to the website and the app, and you can say like, "I want to learn how to grow weed in California." And somebody they'll be able to say, "You can come like Airbnb with a purpose. I'll teach you how to do it. I'll charge you $20 a day for as long as you want. You can learn how to grow weed. Let's say you want to learn how to be a piano player. You come learn how to play piano. Basically, you be able to travel and learn. And that's the concept is, instead of making arbitrary relationships with people, just looking at pictures and faces, you can actually go and engage with them and learn something new. Air Yoda coming out not too long.
All right, everybody. We're gonna go ahead and stop it because I think that's the issue right there. Like, we're trying to have a constructive conversation that hopefully young Black men can build from and learn from. But it's just this whole idea. Like, I just feel like Black people, and correct me if I'm wrong, like Black people in communities like this one don't appreciate intellectual conversations like this one. So, I mean, am I wrong? Am I right or wrong? Or
you're right.
Yeah, I just, they don't want to hear the truth. They don't want, just information from men with degrees, who corporate America, entrepreneurs, who pretty much done everything the right way, and we're giving advice, but we got to shut up. So that's why I think just communities like this one are going through like this, like Brooklyn, like Harlem. Like we cry about gentrification, we cry about white people running us out, but then when Black men like ourselves come to these communities and want to speak, we're told to shut up because we don't want to incriminate anybody. And then once everybody gets gentrified and kicked out, and I can tell people start crying, and so it's just whatever.
Black women in this neighborhood were giving me phone calls about the Ralo situation. It was, "What's he doing over there?" I don't know. We're reporting them because people talk in these little neighborhoods,
right?
And and they would bring it, made me curious because I was like, I don't have a problem with him. He's been on the radar in this community for a long time, and my thing is when you see stuff like that, like you said, you have to engage. People are afraid to engage 20-something-year-old people though with the flashy lifestyle, and the guns. The gun thing is kind of intimidating to people. So, you know, did I think this was going to happen the way it happened? No, but I can tell you, bro, if you want to call in Fortress, you know, David Koresh, he was a white guy.
Right.
Anytime people have those Fortress type situations, I don't know how they do it because I just don't want that kind of attention. I'm sorry. You know, I don't want that kind of attention. Not when I got a bunch of people watching. And
but let me say something. This is and you caught me out on this. Why, like Dynas, why don't you engage? I guess the local community as much. Why do you engage Africa? And I think it's comments like this. I mean, you got to read these comments on my other page. And I think it's reasons like this. I just think it's counterproductive to deal with these young kids, invest in them, and then if you really want to. I guess address what's really going on in the neighborhood, you know, shut the fuck up, you know, you're not going to be safe. And it's just like, okay, well, just forget it. Just let it go. I mean, am I right or wrong? That's just how I feel.
Well, you take a risk. Like by putting this stuff on the internet, you take a risk and you have to calculate your risk. To me, it's a worthwhile risk because I think the information that we conveyed is necessarily a message that they don't want to hear. That's like, oh, I wish he shut up, because most people's attention span is less 5 minutes. So we've already went the average American attention span. So that's why World Star thing is just short clips. Nothing's over 5 minutes. So
you just said something. You just made a point. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So I mean, we this is like a few people that are listening, and they have to rewind it back. Oh, that was some knowledge. You know, I'm going on a risking my whatever to say this because, you know, at a point I think nothing I saw has hit on as deep as we went at.
No,
you know,
of course not.
Everything is like, oh, what
but the thing is, we going too deep, and it's like, oh, you snitching, you snitching. It's like, what are you talking about?
You can't go in too deep because, like I said, I preface it. There's no information that was new on this. This is just a take on saying, hey, who are you helping with your own social media? There is a place for it. Like I said, Eric Yoda trying to teach people. He with a Uhuru. He's trying to teach you about Africa. It's not my passion. My passion is to open up an avenue for people around the world to meet with their somebody to teach something from them. So my whole point is the solution for Ralo is become a teacher. I don't know what he's teaching just yet, because if you're saying ox shit, pox shit, 12 can't stop shit, that's not the message I want to hear. But I believe in freedom of speech. But I just think, like, if you look at a Gucci Man, he would never put that lyric out there because it's not commercial. And at the end of the day, we're teaching these white people, talk about white supremacy, they're teaching white people the language. Mm-hmm. That's why when you say what you're saying, they understand you. You go, yo, that shit's hot. White people don't think you're talking about hot. They know hot means good. Right. White people love we've created this country. So we don't even have a slang anymore. It's our slang. You can't hide shit from them. So my whole point is, at the end of the day, you know, embrace your children, you know, embrace your freedom, embrace your family and the elders. You know, at this point, me and this brother, we're moving into elders. I'm older than him. But
Gucci talks about popping Viagra. Shut the fuck up, old head.
Well,
see, I mean, it's just.
I respect those comments.
Here we go.
I respect those comments. But at the end of the day, you saw Gucci make a transformation, and he says he's eating healthy, he's exercising, and it was because of jail that he stopped doing the drugs. But at the end of the day, he's got a success. He's going to distance himself from this guy like no tomorrow. And
has he spoke out on
Not really, but if he's smart, he already has an attorney on this to go, you know what? Leave me out of this shit. Because like I said, man, your kids, your family, they're precious. If you wouldn't take your bank statement, okay, or your own health certificate and put it online, don't put the pictures of people you love online. If you love your mama, don't put a picture on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Anything you love, dog, unless it's a business, excuse me. If you have a business, promote the business. Now, if you say Fam America is a business, whatever, that's great. When he gets out, promote your business, but also be a teacher. Be a teacher. That's all I'm trying to say is be a more effective teacher. I think if you got all these brothers in the West and doing the Islamic stuff, let us hear those sermons that you're talking about. Let us hear those pep talks, because he's a hell of a leader. Mm-hmm. One thing we know is a hell of a leader.
Yeah, Ralo is a hell of a leader.
Let's hear what you're saying to these people. Like with me and him, we could be doing a video about how great the iPhones are or something.
Yeah.
But we're talking about culture, somebody in our neighborhood in positive ways. that what can we learn from him? That's a question that we asked. We didn't tell anybody anything. What can black men learn from Ralo? He put black men.
I'll put black men.
I don't care.
Black men need to hear this.
What can people?
Black men need to hear this. This is directly targeted. I mean, this is directly for black men.
And I know you don't want to hear my fat mouth because nobody wants to hear that you're putting too much on the internet because you won't stop. Like the people with the comments, that's great. Express yourself. But when you say, you know this, I hope it feels good to you. Don't make it try to feel good to me because it's just for you. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? That's what people don't realize is it's got to be for you. It's not for me. You know what I'm saying? Because like, do I insult people? Now, have you ever heard me insult people? I'm just not an insulting type of guy. I listen. I want to help people, you know. So at the end of the day, this message is to help you. You can't really insult me. I can talk. I know I talk too much. But at the end of the day, my point is valid. You won't be able to trace me on any of the, you know, I will put a Facebook account up, but I have like 4 friends or whatever. I use it to see sometimes what other people are doing. Rarely check it. I don't do Instagram. I just don't do social media. But the ironic part is I want to start an app and a website because I want to help people. And I think you can use the internet to help people. But my app is to actually make people meet and link. I designed a website called Stuff Taxi. I didn't build it, but I designed it 10 years before Uber came out. Okay, it was called Stuff Taxi. I want what I want. And I realized that I couldn't make it safe. And I never could figure out how to make it safe. Now I look at Uber and Uber Eats. And the problem they have is you let a stranger pick you up and take you somewhere. Right. It's not safe. It can get you where you want to go, but it can get you in a lot of problems. So what I'm trying to say is the internet is getting us into bad things. How many people watch porn just because they can type in what they like in their mind? You know, it didn't used to be like that. So basically your mind can take you to places where you don't necessarily want to be. You just find yourself there. And what I'm trying to say is people need to learn how to really link into real life situations. Like I wish me and this brother could have went down and talked to Ralo. I wish Ralo would have talked to accountants and businessmen and really older people. And then they would have said, yo, you got all that shit in your name? Yeah. I don't think a lot of the Muslim brothers down there were thinking that. It's
be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. I don't want to offend anybody.
There's an indictment. They're trying to take his stuff. I don't want his stuff to get taken. I wouldn't know about it if it wasn't on the TV. So that's another. What I'm trying to say is, who are you listening to is the thing. So, like I said, I listen to men that are 70 and 80 years old. I don't even make a move until I listen to them because those are called elders. Isn't that the way black people used to learn? Right. So we're missing. They said that's what's going on with the gangs in Chicago. All the OGs are gone. Right. They killed the OGs. So you got 12-year-olds.
Are they in jail?
Yeah, they got the 12-year-olds making the decisions. Mm-hmm. So do I think if Ralo said he made billions of dollars in heroin and he's 23, he must have started really young. Right. Did he have an OG? He probably people he listened to. Right. But if you're at this level of the game and you're flashing that much, that dude that could just grab you and say, cut that shit out. Uh-huh. He's not here. Right. He wasn't there. You know, so whatever. People can criticize all they want. They know it's real. And the brothers that are building up now, that fam going or whatever, they're not going nowhere. Hey, do it the smart way. You know what I'm saying? Come up with your ideas. See, the thing is, once I realized that I missed the idea for Uber, I said I could be a billionaire by now. But I said, you know what? What good is it for me to start a website where I can make strangers meet up? Right. When you watch the Jedi, it take another Jedi to make a Jedi. Right. I said, I want to make my millions by teaching people who are destined to come together, right? And teach them something to change the world. Uh-huh. So you might have had a dead end with this and lost this, but this brother Ralo might be destined for something even greater. All right. You know what I'm saying? It might be he's the teacher. He might be the next Malcolm X. I want to hear his voice. Right. I don't want to hear ox shit, pox shit, 12 can't stop shit. Uh-huh. That's so repetitive. To me, that's a horrible lyric for him. Right. Because 12 stop shit. It's not a truth. Uh-huh. That's like if I said, God ain't shit, Muslim God, Christian God, fuck all gods. They can't do shit. Well, I might believe that, but that's something that's so offensive, I don't want to hear it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So my whole point is, let this brother come and teach, and that might be the salvation. Listen to your elders and work with the children. That's the solution. Right. And gangsters move in silence. Not on Instagram.
All right. Well, anything else you want to share?
That's it.
Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully I didn't offend anybody. Again, check us out, subscribe, share. Hopefully we get Big Mike on again one day.
I'm done. You done? Next time you see me, stuck Air Yoda, baby.
Okay.
Air Yoda.
All right. So when the app comes out, make sure he comes back on. But hopefully the young black men in the community here in Atlanta, because I know a lot of people say, Dynasty, you focus so much on Africa. What about your immediate community? You know, that's why
Adidas, baby.
That's right. That's why we're here. So, you know, I mean, you got my email, you got my website, you got my social media. Just, you know, hit me up. I'm around. You know, if you're in Atlanta and you want to chop it up, you know, just shoot me an email. We could chop it up. I can give you some advice. I mean, we're seasoned. You know, I'm 36. I don't know if Mike wants to share his age.
Not on the internet.
Okay, not on the internet. Well, I'm 36. You know, we're both college graduates. You know, black men doing well for ourselves.
Presumably.
You know? Oh, you're not college graduate?
You don't share it on the internet.
Okay, well, I'm a college graduate. I have no problem, you know, saying I'm a college graduate. You know, we're in, even though the West End is changing, we're in, you know, still a predominantly black neighborhood. And, you know, we don't mind helping out. So, you know, reach out, you know, all my contact information is in the the description box. Please, you know, like, share the video.
Free Ralo.
And free Ralo.
I don't like
there we go.
I don't like my brothers.
Free Ralo.
At the end of the day, I don't want no brothers.
Free Ralo.
Free everybody. I don't want my brothers in there.
Nah, some people got to say that.
Well, nah.
Some people got to say that.
I'm gonna say free everybody, dog, because you know your ancestors deserve a pass. They suffered enough, so free everybody.
Okay. Well, free Ralo. I'm gonna say free Ralo. So, free Ralo, everybody. Donnie Samir, search for Uhuru. My neighbor Mike. Till next time, subscribe, share, peace.